Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Delighted to be back with my good pal Mac Boucher, and following on from your fairway wood fit we done with you a couple of weeks ago. I think off the back of that video, there may have been some questions that were left open, unanswered in that video as to how your fairway wood or 3-wood fit into the bag. And I know you and I were in the comments kind of telling people why we were fitting you to that particular club, a 260 carry, 280 total club. It was because of this club that we're just about to review today, your new 7-wood.
Yeah, so I just recently, I'd never been on a radar to put a 7-wood in my bag, ever. It was not something that I'd even thought about, but put one in, I guess, a couple months ago now, and I've been experimenting with it, and it's honestly been a game changer for me in terms of the versatility of it and just this position in the bag for me.
And that's the key right there. It's the versatility, the options, the shot selection that you can come up with, a repertoire that really you couldn't have before. We all know the legacy that the Tour Edge 3-wood left behind. It's a hard spot to fill. But interestingly enough, with how that 3-wood performed in the fit, a 7-wood was the perfect club to put in there.
Yeah.
What have you found so far from doing some on-course stuff with it? Like, what do the shots look like that you have available now?
Yeah, so first, like, I had a hybrid in the bag. I've had the same hybrid forever. My hybrid, my 3-wood were my two 10-year-old clubs.
What was that hybrid?
It was an Adams Idea Pro from forever. I honestly got it one of my first years of golf, and I've had 10 different shafts in it, and it's kind of just grown with me. I loved it, but I did find that I was struggling off the turf to get the height and stop it on a green. Really good off a tee to spin it and hit a high one, but as soon as I had to come with a bit of height into a green, it was really hard for me to stop. I kind of was a one-trick pony in that sense. So adding the 7-wood, it's given me the options to throw it a lot higher, to curve it both ways. I find really easy for me to curve it left to right, hit it right to left, kind of anything with it. So. Yeah. That's why I think it's like the perfect club for what I like to do. I can hit a bunch of different yardages. I can hit a stock yardage comfortably. It's been really helpful.
Generally speaking, what is easier for you to do? Hit it low or hit it high?
I would say low used to be the more comfortable shot, just because I could feel like I just trap it and keep the club in front of me. But I think now with this 7-wood, I'm finding that hitting it high has just become like borderline too easy. Like I just find it like not hard at all. So, and I kind of just let the club do the work. Like I feel like I don't have to try to hit it high, which is something I had to do in the past with hybrids.
Guys, when we talk about the difference in these clubs, and we get into this a little bit, we've done videos in the past about it, this concept of loft versus CG location. Just because two clubs are the same loft, and we're going to get into that a little bit today, we're going to test a hybrid versus Mac's 7-wood. Just because two clubs are the same loft does not mean they're going to perform in the same way, fly through the same flight window, and even give the player the same shot repertoire as the other, just because it's the same loft. When we look at the body of a hybrid, a very shallow body front to back, the center of gravity is much, much closer to the face. It is much harder to project that golf ball high than it is to hit it, you know, on the flat, kind of flat, low to mid flight. What Mac is getting right now with this 7-wood is now a deeper CG with the wider body that allows that center of gravity to be a lot deeper and project the dynamic loft much, much higher. So in dynamic motion, when we see how the head deflects relative to the shaft, the head in motion will try to line up the middle of that club head with the middle of the shaft. Obviously, the further back that center of gravity is, the more that head is going to want to move forward, therefore projecting that dynamic loft higher. That is why we never should be thinking of two clubs that have the same static loft having the same dynamic loft. They're just dynamically going to be different. We really don't care what clubs say on the bottom of them. We care an awful lot what they say at the moment of truth at impact. So let's hit a couple with the hybrid. This is a Stealth adjustable, 19.5 degrees. Let's hit a few with that. Look at some numbers.
Sure.
That was so well hit.
Yeah, I caught that one pretty much in the middle, I think.
So kind of 242 roughly. Yeah, 242 on the fly. Lovely numbers. For those familiar with what I look for in a fairway wood, actually, and I do mean fairway wood, not hybrid, this would be a nice 3-wood. Right, 11.8 launch, call it 3,500, lovely 3-wood numbers. the reason for that is that CG is too far forward for you with this particular club.
And that's
right?
exactly what I noticed with my own is I hit it great.
Yep.
It does a lot of really good things, but it just leaves out that one component that I really look for when I'm coming into a green from a longer distance to hold it. If it's coming in that low, it's just going to scoot out, and it's going to be a problem to stop it.
Okay, hit a couple more. That was ideal, though. And lots of people watching this one, that one's going to go a little bit further. You caught that probably a little bit toe side?
Yeah, a little toey, and just shut the face down.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset with the strike, but it definitely felt a little lower spin. And
Totally. And guys, if you saw delivery numbers like that, and someone who plays the game in a very, straightforward fashion, as in just doesn't really like to shape it too much, someone like myself, you'd be pretty happy with what you're seeing there. But this is a perfect example, again, of from a dynamic loft perspective. If I handed you your driver right now, you would have a higher dynamic loft with your driver than you currently would with that hybrid, which is why we have the ability, guys, back to spin loft. You guys will all become experts in spin loft by now with all the compression videos we've done and how much we talked about the relationship between dynamic loft and angle of attack. This is a spin loft nightmare. This is a flyer hazard. This is the ability to hit it 1 minute 250, the next minute 275, and have a real hard time sort of predicting how far your golf ball is going to go. At the level of golf that Mac plays at, that's not okay. That's not really what he wants to see at all. Two absolutely fantastic shots. If we look at, how they flew through a great window, not offline at all. I mean, phenomenal shots, but not really the objective of when you pull that club out that they're going to perform like that. Love it. Okay, grab the little sexy 7-wood. All right. Let's just hit a few. RDX shaft in there, red, 75 gram?
yeah.
X?
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Literally looks like an airplane taking off.
Yeah, and I think for me, visually looking down at this club, I don't know what it is with the loft. It just looks like that's the shot I'm going to hit, and I'm never going to worry about that low flyer. And with the testing I've done on the course, I found it very, I haven't had a flyer yet that's just like torpedoed 30 yards over a green. They've all been, if anything, a slightly spinnier miss that goes a little shorter, which I'm totally okay with because I know where it's going. And it kind of fits, I mean, I hit my 4-iron about 220.
220-ish.
So I want it going about 235, 240 in the air, but landing soft.
Guys, you're going to hear a lot of this from us in the next few months. We want you to start paying attention to the shot count here. We want you to start looking at how closely, when we do these tests, how much the results are a reflection of what's actually happening at impact, not a reflection of what we want to show you. If you look at those last 3 shots, we could not have illustrated any better for you the difference between a hybrid and a 7-wood. The ball speed is net the same. The launch angle is totally different. The spin rate is completely different. And obviously that changes the flight characteristics entirely. So for Mac, he's hit a lovely straight one and a little draw with a hybrid. He's hit a nice little cut with the 7-wood, and kind of his ability to fall in and out of range in terms of the distance he wants to hit. You can see already why that's so much better with the 7-wood for Mac than it is with the hybrid, because of his ability to, hit it high when he wants to. I'm going to ask him in a second to hit it a little bit on the lower side, turn it the other way. But, I mean, in 3 shots, you've shown us the true test.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I love about it, is that I can literally hit it 220, or I can kind of get it out there 260 if I want to turn it over, if I need to muscle onto a green while still maintaining some height. It's been really, really useful for me for just so many different reasons that I really enjoy.
Totally. Look at those differences. People will talk about the efficiency and things like that. Yes, the longer 7-wood will swing faster. That's just the nature of having more leverage. But obviously there's a 6.5 degree difference in dynamic loft there. So that's what gives us the ability to hit it high versus hit it low. We don't have that same option with the hybrid in your case. And guys, we're not saying everyone needs to go out and get a 7-wood. We're just saying that with a 7-wood, you may have a set of options opened up to you that you never even thought of before. If there were certain shots that you struggle with at your course where when you hit the 3 hybrid, that it's coming in a little bit flat, you maybe love your 4, 5, and 6 hybrid if you're a hybrid player, but the 3 doesn't really do it for you. Enter the 7 wood. Let's hit a couple more. Let's see if we can turn it over a little bit the other way.
We'll draw. So I should get a little bit more distance on this one.
Yep.
Was a little too much.
Okay.
Shut the face down a little bit on it.
So you drew it, but here's the cool thing with that. It didn't get scary.
No, that's a good representation because like
Totally.
obviously if my miss hit, generally when I draw it, my miss is a little to the overcooked side like that. But the spin still stayed at close to 3,000, which is obviously I'm a low spin player. But yeah, it didn't go crazy. It didn't
go nuts.
knuckle 260 or something.
Okay.
Try again. A little less.
Right on cue.
Yeah, that was a little better strike on that one.
So when we talked about the gapping of your woods and what we really would like it to be, I think you and I had talked about trying to have a 220, 4 irons about 220, 225.
Yeah.
Stock yardage, if there's such a thing in Mac Boucher's bag as a stock yardage. Not really. There's a 260, 265 fairway wood, depending on the ground conditions, how far that goes out, probably 280-ish. And then there really needed to be a 240, 245 carry club.
Yeah, definitely.
And when I look at those 2 shots you've just given me there, I see exactly what we wanted to do, which is why we knew that 3 wood had to be what it was in the distance it went and how it performed, because we knew we were slotting in a 7 wood that had the versatility that we're seeing here. So if we look at shot 1 and 3 with a 7 wood, take out that second shot that turned over a little bit, this is lovely.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's perfect.
Really, really nice. Ball speed is nice. Launch angle's up a little bit. Spin rate is good. From a land angle perspective, it takes us into the kind of high 40s, which is we know we're going to be able to stop it on really any green if we're coming in.
Absolutely.
At 46.7 degrees. Exceptional. Really, really good stuff. Okay, I'm going to take you onto the golf course.
Sure.
We're going to see this in action, and we're going to hit both clubs again and again start to illustrate the differences in game time and real time, what you would likely to see. Okay, we have used this course, this hole, many, many times, but I do think it's a great one because even back to the Gary Woodland victory here at Pebble Beach, the 18th plays tougher than the yardage suggests that it should. A 508-yard par 5 on the PGA Tour is a par 4.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always play that way here. So I think the wind being into the face a little bit is what the guys often experience. So let's kind of kick up the conditions a little bit. Let's hit a tee shot here. Put ourselves in position. Okay, so the caddy in me is telling you that the tree is out there at 250. If we get past that, leave ourselves probably about 230, 235.
Sure.
We're game on.
Just hit my stock, little safety cut up there.
Love it. He's a one-take wonder, folks. That's amazing. You literally have dropped it on a dime of where I wanted it to be.
Perfect.
All right. So this is kind of where obviously things get tricky. So
yeah, so this would be a tough one for me because 230 can't quite get the 4 iron there.
Totally, especially
trying to take some off something that the hybrid I'd really struggle with from here, because when I take it off, it just wouldn't come in with low enough spins, so I have a hard time stopping it. So this would be an awkward yardage.
Exactly. And we look at that last one. What is the quad read that flew, that last one?
It was 300. That's not right, is it?
Yep.
300.
300. So 169 ball speed, 11.8 launch, 2,000 spin. It flew 274 on our conditions here, 15 miles an hour right into the teeth of the wind. You had 26 yards of hurt there. It's a lot. So, you're going to have to come up with a shot here to sort of get this back to the pin.
Sure.
Let's see where we're at. And we're talking the pin, but really we have kind of a 216-yard cover to get past that bunker. Okay, so are we going to go with what we got, hybrid here?
Do you want to go hybrid first?
Okay, let's do hybrid. And let's toughen it. Let's toughen it up a little bit. Let's go sort of a little bit firmer, a little bit faster. All right, let's hit one in here. That's an exceptional effort. It really is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset
You'd
with
be
that.
over the moon with that.
I actually spun quite a bit.
It's not too bad. Yeah,
No,
not too
that
bad.
was
You got
okay.
a little bit, well, I say steeper, but 1.3 down, and again, 15 degrees of delivered loft. Read me the quad numbers off there again.
249.
249.
Yeah.
That was a shot that was significantly improved by being into the teeth of the wind. Okay, so
yeah, definitely the wind helped on that one, you could tell.
definitely. So we're going to do two things here. We're going to talk about a no-wind situation, and we're going to talk about so I'm going to take the wind down to nothing.
Yeah, go no wind. Yeah.
Because really, that 231, if you had hybrid in your bag, you'd have a problem. You'd have to roast a 4-iron, which you probably would, rather than trying to back up a hybrid that there just flew 250.
Right. Totally.
Right, so it would have been through the back of the green. So let's hit your let's hit 7 wood into this one. So we'll put 3 hybrid away. Let's go into the little fairway wood.
So we're doing no wind.
We're in a no-wind situation, so a nice, soft little 231
Yeah, so this would just be like a stock cut yardage with the 7 wood.
Look at this. It's going to land like a butterfly with sore feet. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, with the greens kicked up like that, I would be pretty stoked on that.
Coming in at 50 degrees, peaked at 142.
Yeah.
Like it has to be that. Anything other than that, I mean, that bounced and got you to the kind of back left of the green. Anything other than that, and you have no hope. You'd be somewhere in somebody's backyard after that bounce.
Totally.
Okay, awesome. Right, let's fire the wind. This is where we're really testing you now, because to try and turn this club down that much after seeing what the dynamic loft is going to be tough. Okay.
So 7 wood, and I take it the other direction on this one.
Yeah, and which is a bit scary as well, because you've got the
Yeah,
the
and
Pacific
generally
on
my
your
miss is the oversling, so
That would be fine.
I'm okay with that, but definitely gonna have to turn it down to.
So good.
Which is I'm totally okay with.
Totally okay with that.
I mean, you're blocked out, but I'm not gonna be upset with that.
Nope. Look at that thing, big stupid. Go hit another one of that for me.
Yeah, that was a little too much.
No, that was awesome. That's exactly what your caddy would want you to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that shot right there takes out the ocean.
100%.
So if I go a little bit less and just try to hit it a little lower, less turn on this one.
Amazing. So that's the versatility that we see the 7 wood. It gives you the 107-foot peak. Your 104 with the hybrid was your average peak with the 3 hybrid. And you can still do that if you want based on the way you shot shape. That's why 7 wood is a phenomenal option for you.
Yeah, no, and honestly, looking down on it, I think I said this to you earlier, is it literally looks like I'm looking at a pitching wedge with a longer shaft.
Confidence
so for
is
me,
through the roof.
confidence, like you can't, I look down at this thinking that I'm gonna hit a good shot, which is really important for me. I'm a big looks is kind of gives me that confidence knowing that I'm gonna hit a good shot. So it's really important to me.
Love that. That was one of the most pure tests we've probably ever done in the channel of 2 clubs that probably are considered for the same position in someone's bag, and showing that really they are entirely different. They have totally different dynamic sort of launch conditions. So really, really cool to see.
Yeah, awesome.
Guys, we think there's a lot to take from this video. For a lot of people, the yardage that either a 3 hybrid or a 7 wood or a lofted wood, whatever it might be, it's a very important one. It could be the ability to get on par 4s, it could be par 5s, it could be long par 3s. You know, it can be saving you. We're going to do something when we get outdoors where we actually compare these clubs in rough as well. We want to talk about, from a tour perspective, the migration of certain players such as Matt Fitzpatrick, such as Patrick Cantlay, such as Max Homa, we were talking about on the weekend. He had 7-wood in the bag. Lots of players love the options, not just to hit these great shots from the fairway where Mac positioned himself there, but in a tough rough position. You know, when they start to get into major season, the course conditions do toughen up a little bit. You'll see a lot of these guys really going towards a choppy, high lofted wood that gets out there 210, 215, that type of thing, gives them that option that maybe a long iron or a hybrid wouldn't do. So we're going to do more of that testing in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. All right, guys, let us know what you think. If you've had a 7-wood, if you're thinking a 7-wood, hopefully this has changed your mind in terms of the value that it could offer in your bag. We want to hear it from you. Stay tuned. We'll see you again soon.